show prep, no solid plan. Spins a yarn, recants a tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common Man, Common Man. Charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Oh my gosh. Oh, that.
Just keep battling. And just keep battling. And keep battling.
Quack, quack.
Lucky. Yeah, Rosie.
I love the common man.
Thanks. Yeah.
I love the common man.
We're coming.
It was a nice run.
Oh, boy.
Timberwolves superfan KFAN Dan Barrero.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing what a sophisticated offensive game plan looks like. You talk about
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
I think we have a very good mix right now. I mean, the morning show does well, comparatively speaking, especially given what it has to go against. Dubers and I have done well, knock on wood, for 4 years. Common and Hartman have done okay, and Barrero is, in my estimation, the primetime player on our station. And cultivating a couple of kids in Sludge and Lake, and you know we have the Vikings and maybe some things down the road. So I think we're strong right now.
Sorry, KFAN. I want to win, and I want to win now.
You like that? You like that?
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the North. This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
That would be me. And if I'm supposed to be somebody else, why do I look like me? Hey, good evening, good afternoon. Act you and yours. Password for tomfoolery and skullduggery and cold, dead, rigor mortis, laden lips. So, Deuce got let me ask you, so Deuce went to World Cup soccer, okay? So, in Kansas City. So I don't know how much of this tale I've already recanted, but, you know, he was going to stay in Omaha with a buddy to save on hotel, right? Then he was going to drive to Kansas City, work remote, go to the game, drive to Mason City, get as far as he could, get a hotel there, get up in the morning, go pick up his buddy, and then drive to Alexandria to hang out at the lake home of another family from the old days and do a little weekend on the water, right? So he decides, well, this doesn't make any sense to go to Omaha and then have to get up really early because Omaha is still like, it's a long drive from Omaha to Kansas City.
Sure.
So then it's like he's got to get up really early because he's got to do a full day of work on remote. So he decides to go to Kansas City and get a hotel there. So he pulls up to go check in, right? It must be 10 o'clock at night, 10 or 11. There's a sign that says hotel parking. He goes in, parks there, goes in, checks in, goes to his room. Comes back the next morning, and his car's gone.
No!
It's been towed because he didn't read the fine print. I said, well, dude, you can't think that you were given a parking. That at that time of night, you'd pull up at the hotel, and there would be a parking spot right next to the front door. Right? Guess what the tow job cost him?
Oh, boy. Well, hundreds.
Hundreds. Cash, too. So he had to go, you know how he spells ATM? He's got his own money. So this was his own money. Take a guess.
How expensive?
To bail your car out of jail.
$300?
$320. Cash. No.
They don't want any trail of it, huh?
No ticky, no washy. No. Well, I guess they figure you're probably, if your credit card, if you're stupid enough to park your car in front of the hotel, you're probably scamming them on the credit card. So all cash, $320. Then he had to pay for the hotel, right? Then he had to pay for the other hotel. And he bought a World Cup ticket. What do you think that price for that World Cup ticket was? It was Tunisia against the Netherlands.
$600.
$700. So $700 for the ticket, $300 for the towing, probably a couple hundred for 2 hotels.
Gas money.
Gas. Can you make it last?
You've got to be kidding me.
I said, you could have watched it on TV. You could have just stayed home, turned on the TV, watched, in the grand scheme of things, a meaningless game between Tunisia and the Netherlands. You could have watched it on TV and you saved yourself. So how much is that? That's 7 and 3. That's 1,000. That's probably $2,000 to watch.
You've got to be kidding me.
A World Cup soccer game. They would have had to pay me $2,000, and even then I'd have to think about it for a while. $2,000 to drive to Kansas City and watch a game. But you know, I guess World Cup doesn't happen very often in the United States, right? The event is only every 4 years. And there are 197 countries on planet Earth, roughly 197 countries, 196, 98, 95, whatever it is. They don't all get to host it, but still that's a lot of countries that would love to bring World Cup to their inside their borders, right? So it might not ever, who knows when the next time will be. When was the last time they had World Cup here? Do we know? Do we have any indication whatsoever? Again, I don't dislike soccer. I'm not one of those people. I know there are some talk show hosts or just human beings.
1994.
94. Wow, that is a long time. That like to, they like to make fun of soccer. It's okay. I don't mind that. I you don't have to like soccer, but you have to respect it, and I do. But 94, so that's 04?
32.
32 years. Thanks for doing the math for me. 32. It might be another 32 years before it gets back here, right?
You've got to be kidding me.
He had fun. Oh, here was the other one. I called him. I said, he goes, getting ready to get on the shuttle to go to the stadium. He said it's pouring rain right now. So then he was getting drenched he was like a wet rat. So then he had to say, and I asked, well, did it rain the entire time? I called him today, and he was almost Alexandria. I said, what did it rain the entire game? No. He goes, it drizzled on and off. It's just. No! Doesn't that just sound like a miserable experience, the 2.5 days he just had? I mean, doesn't it just sound miserable? And yet he had a stiff upper lip, and he was all right with everything. So more power to him, but man. Oh. And then, I didn't ask him. I haven't talked to him in depth. It was just a quick conversation. I wonder when you go out to get your car and it's gone. What do you think? The first thing you think, uh-oh. Lock your car, take your keys, don't let a good boy go bad. Did he leave the keys in the car? Did somebody steal it? Did somebody hotwire it? None of the above. They towed it. I've never had my car towed. Have you ever had a car towed? I've never had my car towed.
I did have it, I believe, when I was in college, I had one towed, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not fun. Or maybe mine wasn't towed, or maybe they put a boot on it.
Yeah. Oh.
Sometimes they did the boot.
Yeah. Like our new edge rusher, Boot Banks. Is it Banks? Is that his name?
Yes.
Caleb. Walking Boot Banks. Caleb. That's another thing I forgot about. We got a guy that's broke his foot twice, had surgeries. And then the guy we got, I was
going to say, are you talking about LaMelo or are you talking about Caleb Banks?
Well, I was talking about Caleb Banks, and LaMelo's had several surgeries too. Here's what's in. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit more about the LaMelo trade. But I once again, I periodically thank the other media members in town that do my homework for me, because I was thinking to myself, well, I wonder what it seems like locally. A lot of the basketball community, they're endorsing this trade of LaMelo. And it might end up being great, and I don't really mind it, but I mean, I just find it, when you have people that are really attached to a team, they're fans of a team, they want to believe every move is the right move, the best move, right? This is good for us. They don't want to think of the alternative. And so a lot of people are endorsing the move and think it's great. But I wonder what they're thinking about this nationally. And then I thought, that's a lot of work. I have to go online, start scanning for national reporters and read what they had to say. Rand Ball did it for me. It's just so good. I go in there today. He goes, national reaction. And he's got a couple of quotes from some of the national, from some of the highly regarded NBA observers in the basketball community at large. And it's just so good. And I want to thank Michael Rand for doing my homework for me. That allowed me to play golf. Said, if you call it golf, I was just awful today to me. But then I went to the range again. It's one thing with me that I can't stop doing, and I do it and I fixed it again. I just got to think. I do this thing where as I'm making contact with the ball, instead of just staring at the ball until I get through contact, I start
lift your head up.
I start pulling out of it like this. And when you're pulling this way and your club's open this way, nothing good ever comes of it. Nothing. I mean, you would think 2 days ago I shot 75. Today it looked like I'd never played golf before, but I actually went to the drive. And then I ran into two people that know me, and they would go, well, this is new. They ran into me at a drive. It's the last place they expected to see me was at a practice facility. Maybe out on the golf course.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. I was desperate, and now I went from thinking, man, this is bad. But then, tee to green at Hazeltine tomorrow. I won't golf tomorrow. Do you see what the forecast is for Sunday morning? 100% chance of heavy rain, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So there'll be no golf on Sunday. So
it's supposed to get steamy on Sunday, too, isn't it? Or no, Monday it is.
Yeah. That's my kind of weather, by the way. Steamy weather. I don't mind it at all.
Today is my kind of weather.
Yeah. Actually,
it's gorgeous today.
In a perfect world, I mean, you give me 71 degrees without any humidity, partly cloudy skies, and a light breeze. I love, but as I mentioned before, when we had the November to May through May that we had this year, I don't mind. Give me a couple of weeks of steamy weather. After that, then get back to me. I'm starting, okay, I've had enough of this, but I don't mind if Mother Nature throws me a little steamy conditions. I like to be able to smell my caddy 10 feet away. Let's take a break. When we do, it's peek at the purple. I did find some purple stuff today. So we'll do that. And then So Zach, I come walking into the studio, into the station. Zach goes, "Don't touch it." And I go, "Touch what?" And he's holding the trophy, and I go, "Oh, that's today." He laughed. I forgot we were playing the program password.
You're really ready for this one, aren't you?
Invitational Championship tour. And I'm going on 4 hours of sleep. I went to the concert last night. I got my first peek at the new amphitheater. It's pretty cool. We'll talk about that as well. But we'll break. We'll come back. Peek at the purple here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
Join Nordo for World Cup watch parties all week long. Thursday, you can catch Team USA in action at Heartbreakers in Chaska starting at 9 p.m. Then keep the party rolling today at Baldy's Tailgate Bar in Lakeville and Saturday at Casper's in Egan. Enjoy drink specials, prizes, and all the World Cup excitement. Get all the details now at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
I'm confused. U.S. At 9 p.m.?
Yeah, I think this was a vibe that was written for a previous day.
Oh.
Which I didn't see until I started reading it.
Maybe I ought to start reading the vibes earlier. Just like maybe I ought to start writing your column earlier. And when I told Barrero that way, I didn't say that to him. I just said, I'm going to be late. I haven't finished my column. You're at the State Fair. You're going to have to do another hour. Well, what do you mean I'm going to have to do another hour? Start writing your column earlier. Start reading your vibes earlier.
Did you get overtime that day, by the way? Did you get paid extra for that?
No, I did not. Do they want to grow the game of soccer now? Why would they have it at 9 o'clock at night? Kids got to go to school.
I always
Or
love
school
that
out
one.
now.
School's out for summer.
School's out for summer. You know who did that song?
Is that Alice Cooper?
That's correct. Who is Alex Cooper? Who is Alex Cooper? Correct. I'll take Fading Rock Stars with cheesy songs for 200. Peek at the Purple brought to you by Affordable Electric. If you're getting ready to sell your home, you don't want to let electrical bananas or electrical issues slow down your closing. Outdated panels, faulty outlets, or inspection repairs can delay a sale. Will they delay the sale? Affordable Electric provides pre-listing electrical evaluations and fast, code-compliant repairs to help your home pass inspection with confidence. 612-331-VOLT. 612-331-VOLT or affordable-electric.com. And remember, as always, Affordable Electric is, shockingly affordable. Look at, on ESPN, they're talking quarterback controversy. They got 1 and 9, which is 19, which is the Vikings will be the 19th best team in pro football this year. You know what? Wait, hold on. I'm just kidding. I wasn't even going to really talk quarterback controversy with the purple stuff. I think this is new news. I'm not paying as close attention to Vikings front office hirings as I once did. But I think this happened. I think it was first Rat wrote about yesterday, right? This happened after we got off the air. Is that correct? This says 7:32 p.m. June 25th. It's the 26th.
Today's 26th, yes.
So it must have happened last night. Minnesota Vikings have finalized their football operations staff under new GM Nolan Teasley, hiring Trent Kirchner from Seattle and Andrew Healy from Cleveland as assistant GMs. The Vikes announced the additions on Thursday. Kirchner worked with Teasley for the Seahawks, spending 16 seasons there, the last 6 years as VP of player personnel. He worked 8 seasons before that as a scout for the Carolina Panthers. The native of Fulda, Minnesota. Isn't that where Royce's from?
Is he from there?
I think Royce's from Fulda. Think of all the famous people. Those are the two famous people I know from Fulda. Royce, I'm almost certain he's from Fulda. And Kirchner. He played NCAA Division III football at St. John's. He'll lead the scouting operations and assist. I wonder if he ever crossed paths with St. John's alum Adam Thielen. I'm sure they know each other. You know, most people that went to the same school and you're involved in the NFL. It's a very small world, the NFL tend to be. He'll lead the scouting operations and assist Teasley with football operation. Healy will lead the analytics and research departments after spending 10 seasons with the Browns. That's like spending 10 years at Alcatraz, isn't it? What an awful place to live, Cleveland, and then to work with the Browns organization, including the last 7 years as vice president of research and strategy. That strategy didn't work very well for Cleveland, did it?
Did they have a strategy?
Well, I don't think they did. That's the problem. I think you're spot on.
Well, they did have a strategy. It was, let's vastly overpay a guy who has sexual assault charges on him.
That'll work, yeah.
Give the largest guaranteed contract ever.
Kirchner and Healy will support Teasley and Executive Vice President of Football Operations Rob Brzezinski in the upper echelon of the personnel department. How many people do they have working in the front office? I think they have more people in the front office than they do players on the roster, for crying out loud.
There is some of the NFL, even like the coaching staff, right? I mean, they probably have like 30 coaches
They do.
For 54 players.
Think about this. You don't just have a linebackers coach. You have a Will linebackers coach, a Mike linebackers coach, and an Henry the 8th I Am linebackers.
And an assistant.
And an assistant to those. Is it really that complicated? I think maybe that's the problem. They're making it too complicated. It's blocking, tackling, throwing, catching, and kicking. That's really what
I think it's just these coaches, because it's a good old boys club.
Yeah.
With the coach, and they've convinced these owners we got to have. Yeah. They're getting their buddies paid.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing, because they know that.
Then they'll come back around once they get fired.
Right. Yes, then
they'll need to hire someone.
So when who's our general manager now again?
Nolan
Teasley. So when Teasley gets fired, he'll get hired by Healy when Healy gets a different job. They just say, hey, It's a pretty good gig if you can get it. I was thinking about this. I was talking to I was playing golf today with a buddy, and I was asking him. I said, "Do you really think there's a quarterback competition?" He said, "No." He says he thinks it's absolutely positively Murray's job. And here was his theory. He says, "Well, look," he goes, "Look at KOC. When he's had a offensive line and a quarterback, he's gone 14-3 and 13-4.
Yeah.
When he hasn't had an offensive line and a quarterback, he's gone. There was the 9-8 last year, and then what was the other record they had? 7-10, I think it was, right? Wasn't it 7? Didn't they have a 7-10 season under him, or wasn't it that bad? But the point being is, and I think that's,
you could say that about any coach.
That's what I was going to say. That's why sometimes I wonder if coaches are really as good as they are ballyhooed to be, oftentimes, or if they're not as bad as they seem to be. Because if your offensive line is leaky and your quarterback's just aight, your team's probably going to be leaky and just aight at best. And so then it's like, if you got a great it seems like if you have a great left tackle, a really good quarterback, and an edge rusher, that's really all you need. Fill in the other pieces with competent players, and you can go a long way in this league. It's watered down, it's thinned out. There's 32 teams in the league. So, and is bad. I mean, let's face it. I know McCarthy had some moments last year, especially in the last few weeks of the season, playing meaningless games. That's just it is what it is. Much like, we'll talk about the other side of the break. There was a meaningless soccer game last night for the United States.
Yeah, people are upset about it.
And people were bitter about it, and the coach snapped back. And I think he did it in both English and Spanish. He's bilingual, and so he was upset about it. So we'll talk about that. But anyway, that's your front office now with the purple. What we should do, tend to be for like one of those futures bets. List all the names of the front office people, and then bet like when will he be let go, right? Because they eventually will, and that's not. I'm really not trying to say they're not any good at what they do, but that's just the nature of pro sports. You are God today, gone tomorrow. It happens in radio too. We'll break. We'll come back. Peek at the Purple was brought to you by Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, affordable-electric.com. More nonstop nonsense tomfoolery next on the Common Man program on the Fan.
KFAN welcomes some great shows to Treasure Island this year, including Joe Bonamassa.
Raindrops keep falling on my head. Now that's not the guy whose feet are too big for his bed.
On August 15th, Snoop Dogg.
I should take my time, I know. Take it easy, take it slow. Give yourself some time to heal. If it's love, make sure it's real.
On September 5th, and Ron White.
Sleeping single in a double bed. Wishing over the things I wished I'd said.
October 17th. Get the complete details on all of our upcoming shows on the concert page at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Text messages accepted at the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line. This one says, Common, I got my car towed at the U of M a couple 6-7 years ago. I parked right by a driveway with the no parking past this sign. My car bumper must have been no more than 2 inches past the sign, and they towed it away. I darn near thought my car was stolen, only to learn $500 later it was at the Minneapolis impound lot. And then he says, sad, really. That is sad. $500. Holy moly. Thought I saw another car one. Oh, yeah, this one says, same thing happened to me this summer. Tow job cost me $180 down at Owatonna.
Yeah.
Man, park your car, take your keys, don't let a good boy go bad. Then I received this some text message. This one said, good afternoon, Common. I didn't run into you last night at the show. Did you enjoy it? I thought it was a really nice show. Burton, he's referring to the lead singer, the Guess Who, Burton Cummings, sounded better as the show went on. Thanks. Charles, who's also known as Capital City Guy. And then he also said, oh, by the way, leaving shock if he wasn't any good or took about 35 minutes to get out of it. First of all, I did enjoy the show. I mean, I will say, my desire desire to see aging rockers in concert anymore is starting to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like aging artists can perform at the top of their game like I continue to do. It was good, but, Burton Cummings' voice just isn't what it used to be. Back in the day, when in the late 60s, early 70s, I thought he had one of the best voices in rock when he was in his prime, and now it's just not there. But it was fun. The venue is spectacular.
It is.
I mean, they have it set up where in the very back they have seating on lawn. You can sit on grass way in the back, right? Then after that, they just got regular, like seating you'd see at any stadium. Then they have box seating and suite seating. And I was fortunate enough to be able to get some box seating. It was really nice. Spacious, comfortable seats, table, waiter and waitress service. Got a double cheeseburger. It was good. Prices were fairly reasonable. I'm not an expert on if the sound is really good at the amphitheater. It was loud. I know that. And I it sounded good to me, but I don't have that kind of an ear. I go, and I would assume the sound is really good because by this time when you're building venues for music, I think you really pay attention to the acoustics, right? Like US Bank Stadium wasn't made for that. That was made to host 8 Viking football games a year, 9 football. That's why that stadium was created. Now, also in order to, you don't just gonna have it open for 8 days a year, so you do have concerts there. But everybody have you been to a concert at US Bank Stadium?
I never have.
And everybody tells me the acoustics are just awful. It's an awful sounding stadium. Yeah. The other thing they did, which was cool, is the amphitheater, it's facing the stage, so when the sun is setting to the west, it's on the right. Because I'm sure that's one of the first things they thought about. Because can you imagine if they had it facing the west and you're trying to watch it and the sun's blaring in your eyes? What did they do this for? So, and it was easy in and out for me. Because here's the thing about when you go to the Geezer concerts. The Geezers are slow to get out of their seat and walk to their car. So I got up quick. It was with my sister and her husband. And we stayed at the very end. We knew they were doing 2 more songs. We knew they were going to do Baby, I'll be there to shake your hand. Baby, I'll be there to share the land. And then because Randy Bachman was part of Bachman Turner Overdrive, they closed with Taking Care of Business. Taking Care of Business. And so they closed with that, and we knew that was the last song. We got up and we left, got in the car, we're gone. I mean, the concert was over at 10:45, and I was home by...
Yeah, I think they have an 11 o'clock curfew there. Yeah.
The show was done by 10...
Which I approve.
I do too. The show was over at 10:45, and I was home at... The show ended at 10:45, and I was in my house at 10:35.
11:35, maybe?
11:35. 11:35, 11:38, something like that. So it didn't take long to get out of there, but I could see where... I mean, you go to like a Vikings game, and if you park in a downtown ramp and you're near the top, it takes you longer to get out of the ramp and on the road than it took for the entire game. The game's 3 hours. It's sometimes 4 hours to get out of the ramp. But it was pretty easy. But I liked it. I enjoyed it. Then somebody else sent me a text message that says, "Hey, Common, saw at the show last night and you ignored me. Hope you had fun, Dave and Faribault." I didn't ignore anybody. Nobody said anything. Nobody came up to me. There wasn't one person that said, "Hey, Common, how you doing?" I didn't ignore. I think anybody that has spotted me in public, I don't blow people off. I know that a lot of so-called media celebrities do blow. I don't blow people off. I'll have a conversation with you. I'm not going to become best friends with you. I don't even have many friends. Most people don't like me. But I didn't ignore you. You should have come up to me and said something. No one said anything to me.
Maybe he did, but it was loud at the...
Oh, I could have been. Well, it was.
Loud music, so you couldn't hear it.
It was. The sound was so loud that, like, just if I tried to say something during a song, you couldn't. I tried to talk to myself. It's like, ha.
It must have been where you were sitting, because when I went, I sat up on that lawn up top.
Oh,
and I could have a conversation.
Yeah, I bet it's not as loud up there. Yeah, we were down in that into the box area. Who did you see there again?
Well, we went to like the soft opening Saturday night where they had all the Minnesota artists.
Oh, that's right.
Rocket Club.
I think it's going to be a long, long time. That's my favorite song by Rocket Club is Rocket Man. It's a great song. It's appropriate. Do they call hockey Rocket Man? He should be Rocket Man.
I always love that one.
What's interesting, when they were introducing Don Felder, former Eagle, he was fired by the Eagles. Him and Glenn Frey didn't get along at all. So he wrote a lot of the Eagles songs. He wrote Hotel California. He did another song. He said, I started writing this for whatever album. I don't know. I'm not a huge Eagles guy, but I don't really like the Eagles, but I do respect them. He said, I started writing this song for the Eagles, but the group kind of rejected it for the album. But I finished it and I recorded, here it is. And I know why they rejected it, because it wasn't any good. But then when they announced the band members.
You should have taken a hint, is what you hear.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is they got the two big screens on either side of the stage. It's crystal clear. You talk about high def. It looks like you're on stage with the guy, right? That's how crystal clear those television screens are on the video. But then they listed each. He introduced his band, and they listed each guy. They're like vagabond, NFL or NBA players who play for like 6, 7, 8, 9 teams. They've played for everybody. The guy, he played with Santana. He played with Fleetwood Mac. He played with this band. He played with that band. They just bounce around, have guitar, have drums, have keyboard will travel. So, and then the Felder thing, you think I got a short gig? 45 minutes, in and out. Now, here's my question. What do you think Don Felder and the Guess Who had 8 guys playing, and back when they were a band, in this, when they were new, right? When they were actually songs being 60s and 70s, when they were still recording and they were young, they had like 5 guys in the band. They had 8 people on stage last night. Felder, I think, just had him and 3 others. Pay's not as good, so it's less to divvy up, right? What do you think? Can you even venture a guess as to what Don Felder and his bandmates made last night for a 45-minute show at the Mystic Lake Amphitheater in Minneapolis on a weeknight, or in Shakopee?
Was the stadium or amphitheater full? Because it can fit up to 19,000. I don't know if they are capable of filling that. There
wasn't 19, but there were more than I thought. I had predicted 8,000-9,000 people, because most people fans of the Guess Who are dead, so they can't go to the show. So I thought, but it looked like it was. I bet it was almost 3/4 full.
Okay,
that's what it looked like. It's hard to know for sure. You're looking back. There was, because a lot of the boxes were empty. The seats behind us were almost all full. I don't even know if it was. I wonder if they had an attendance figure. Maybe it was. It might have been 2/3 full, maybe half. I don't know. It's hard to say. It wasn't sold out. There's no way.
So Felder was opening for the Guess Who?
He opened for the Guess Who.
Okay.
And I'm just wondering what that would be. I mean, because I don't think they have a door deal where it's like, okay, you get 80% of the door, the Who gets 80% of the door, and then they give what percentage to Felder. I think it's just this is what we want for our show. We want, I don't know, for the whole night. What does the Guess Who get? I mean, they're not a major band anymore. This is the end of the end of the end of the end tour for them, right? They haven't had a new song released in 50 years. So I don't know what they're not making Taylor Swift money, obviously, but I wonder what they make for something like that. I wonder if anybody's got anybody.
I wouldn't even be able. Maybe Lil B at 1:00 would be able to help.
I bet she
better
would.
Than us.
I bet she would. This one says,
because you're still filling up. If you're still filling up 2/3 of a 19,000 seat stadium, you should still be able to make some decent money off of that.
Well, Matt from Little Falls, and we've met Matt when we broadcasted up in Brainerd, and he's a music aficionado. He loves going to shows. We talk about it all the time. He said he heard the attendance was 7,500 to 8,000.
Okay.
And that's kind of what I thought it would be, but it seemed like there were more people than that there. But that sounds...
Well, they're probably kind of scattered around too, right?
Yeah. Someone said, Charles in St. Paul says at least $50,000.
For Felder?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking Guess Who was going to be in like the $50,000 to $100,000 range.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. But
and that Felder might be in like the $25,000 range.
Man, how the mighty.
But I don't know.
Think about it. Used to be lead guitar player for the Eagles.
Oh, it's still good money to just show up and play 45 minutes.
But not the kind of money he was making with the Eagles.
Well, no.
Yeah, so 45-minute show.
He's still get his money for nothing and his chicks for free.
Trust me. I mean, but now I'm always worried about medical incidents like we had with Lionel Richie. Is he okay now? I heard he was hospitalized. Yeah. I hope he's going to be all right. Because, I mean, Felder, 78. Randy Burton Cummings is 78. Randy Bachman, the guitar player, he's 82. And you know what? He sat in a chair and played all night. He never got up. He sat on a tall, more like a guitar bar stool, right? And he just played there. He was not moving. Then they had the younger guys. They were moving around and dancing around a little bit, but even those guys were aging.
So I've always been curious as to, let's say, a group like the Guess Who.
Snoop Dogg.
No, I'm talking about the Guess Who.
I just did. I guessed.
Whatever that dollar amount is that the Guess Who gets, I've always been curious, how do you divvy that up between your band members?
Yeah. Well, you know, Burton and Randy are getting the big money because they are the Guess Who. None of these guys played in the Guess Who until now, right? But they are still accomplished musicians who've played with all other big name bands. But yeah, I mean, let's just say it this way: it's $100. I would say Bachman and Cummings are getting probably $80 of that, and the other 20 is split the other way. I would think. I don't know. Meat Sauce and I split the money right down the middle. It's not too hard if you don't need a calculator because it ain't that much money. But we split it right down the middle.
How much that pie does Larry Mondello guy get?
Well, we pay him.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's not getting as much. I think he's happy, though. He's never really complained. I know, put it this way, I think we pay more than the going rate for an MC. Well, I know that. Most MCs in this town in the comedy business, I think they're getting maybe flip $50.
And then he gets his free promotions calling in for his other gigs.
Well, that's exactly right. And think about it, he gets to touch the hem of the garment of Meat Sauce. He gets to tell people, I work with Meat Sauce. And then they go,
does the other go, I have to open for Meat Sauce? What's wrong?
Well, I'm sure
what is happening with my life?
Well, he must, because he's actually fairly funny. Man, people often ask me what kind of a comedian he's like. I'd say he's like a fat Jim Gaffigan. That's what I would say. But, yeah. This one says, bands at that level are not doing door deals. They get guarantees, and that's for sure. They're getting a guarantee, and so it's up to the to sell the tickets. This one said, question for you guys: for those lawn seats, can you bring chairs or blankets to sit on? I thought
you can rent chairs.
Right, you can rent chairs. They won't let you bring a chair. Well, they're really pretty strict about everything. Like, for instance, you have to wear a wristband, and you have to wear it on your right wrist. Right? So that if you want, and I get that. So if you go up to, if you go up to the suites or the boxes or whatever, and then you go down to use the restroom, wherever you're seated, I guess, you have to have a place. But they walk a pretty fine line there. But I think, is it the best musical venue in town? I don't know, because I haven't been to all of them. I like outdoor concerts. I enjoy them. I loved the Zoo when the Zoo was doing shows. When Sue McLean, before she passed away, she did all sorts of shows. I saw a Hippie Fest out there. I probably saw Boss Skaggs out there. Not Boss Skaggs, but Bruce Hornsby. And I like those outdoor shows, so I like the amphitheater thing. And they did this, obviously. Mystic Lake's got the money to do it right. I mean, it's a great place to watch a concert, I think. So, this one says, if Sauce does 10 to 12 minutes, you do 45, why do you split the profits? Doesn't seem right. That's a damn fine question.
Yeah, Rosie.
Why do I split with him? He was booed off stage one time when he was really slumping. when his career was at its...
He was slumping in comedy?
Yeah, he was slumping.
That happens?
Oh, yes. It's like a train wreck. You can't watch it. It's just like he'll be just rambling like I do on the radio. And there's no point to where he's going. There's no punchline at the end of it. He's just telling a story of some sort. Then he gets to where the story kind of comes to an end and everybody's just kind of looking at him. Then he goes, that wasn't even funny. I don't even know why I talked about it. And then he moves on to the next bit. And then all of a sudden, all right, thanks, everybody. Love you. Thanks for coming on Live Comedy. Thanks for listening to the radio show. And then I look at my watch and go, he was supposed to do a half hour. He just did 12 minutes. Now I got to do an hour. And I got an hour, but like I've said before, only about 4 minutes of it's funny. If that, so. I'm pretty sure the hired hands get paid a set amount for the tour like a normal job. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know, it's like, and I don't know what that, I don't know what that price would be. It says Mystic Lake doesn't own the amphitheater. They just paid for the naming rights. I'm not so sure about that.
That might be accurate because that's what they have in agreement with Canterbury Park.
Okay.
That happened years ago because Canterbury Park, you know, there was concern about them not being able to do horse racing anymore. Mystic Lake came in with a big chunk of cash to keep it going, but there was also some tie-ins with their naming, so that might be accurate. I was wondering how many people would get confused by the name and then just show up to Mystic Lake Casino thinking the amphitheater was there.
Well, okay, but I know that I know somebody that works for the tribe, and that's where I got my tickets.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know, but maybe it is just a naming rights thing. I don't know. Here's one that's.
I mean, it was Canterbury's land originally.
Yes.
Maybe they might be in it together. I don't know.
I think they're probably in it together, but I don't know that. This one says Mystic Lake's paid the naming rights. Live Nation built and operates the venue. I do have now, by the way. I have a Google wallet, and I do have a Live Nation app now. Is that a good thing?
I mean, you can delete the app anytime you want.
But I mean but what I mean is like I hear things about like, you know, your Ticketmasters and your live. It wasn't Live Nation guy the one that got nominated for a PST.
Yes,
was that
the
Live
CEO,
Nation guy? When he said, you know, they're asking for $1 million for a courtside seat for the Knickerbockers game, and I get raked over the coals and roasted if I charge $72 for Beyonce. Oh well.
Yeah, concert tickets are actually underpriced.
Last one for you. This one says, this actually sounds about right. It says, a good guess is the Guess Who got 100 to 150 grand. Felder got 50 grand. Yeah, that's probably about right, I would think, but who knows? Let's do this. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Feminine touch of the program, Lil B. She'll join us next, and then it's the program password invitational championship match. The defending champs, the Broad Squad, Marnie Gellner and Lil B, taking on the maestro of the mornings, Corey Cove.
Power Trip
morning show. And the buffoon at noon, the clown from Brown, the common man. It's coming up at 1:15. 1:30, right? Yeah, 1:30. 1:30 in the Common Man program on the Fan.
Lil B joins Common next on the Fan.